Meanwhile, Danny, can we talk what you sent me regarding reaction notification?
Let's wait for Todd on that one.
Okay.
He's the one that experienced it and has a better idea of what actually happened. I still can't figure out why this Q Down podcast badge does not play when you earn it by favoriting your first podcast. It waits till you force close the app and reopen it. And I can't think of anything that would be disrupting that queue.
If we're testing anything, we can try to delay, or maybe just to make sure that the badge is delivering via the subscription, I can try and reset it for you. And if you stay on the home screen, we can see just to confirm it's being delivered from the subscription.
Okay. It plays. It just waits till I force close and reopen.
Yeah. Then in that case, it sounds like something on the app side. It's in one of those flows that would be blocking the batch animation from playing when it gets received from the subscription.
Could it be that we added the feature where you, after you favorite something, you're shown a list of friends to share it with?
Oh.
Because that's fairly new, and this is a badge that's triggered by a favorite.
Oh. Let's ask Ismail if that would be a flow that would block off a badge.
Okay.
And that would take more than 4 seconds to clear out. So that makes sense.
Because the ones with check-in triggering it, they play instant. All right. Well, good morning, Amin.
Good morning, Danny. Good morning, everyone.
John, are you ready for me to start?
Yeah.
Cool. Amit.
Yes, Danny. Today, first thing I work on the one is which you sent me, Danny, regarding reaction notification sending rate, right? Like, so you told me, Todd, saying that her sister reacted 1 week ago and yesterday he received notification, correct?
Yeah. Looks like you showed me the timestamps and she did react.
Yes. Right so away. I went through the database and found out all the reaction. So looks like I did not see any issue. So she reacted on like 2nd of March, UTC 2nd of March. So it was the correct note. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Did you fix the verbiage on the notification?
So what should be that exact text? So like I will do that. I want to ask you. See what should
I'll find it in our notification matrix and send it to you.
Okay. No, it was probably. I think she reacted to an image. That's why it would say your content.
Yes, Jerry. So she reacted to an image.
We can tell if it's an image or a video, right?
Yeah. So like we decided for image content, we will simply say. Here we decided if someone shared image inside the chat, we will say content. Content something.
Yeah. I don't love it. I think it should say totally loves this photo or totally loves this video. So we know if it's a photo or a video, right?
Yep, we can know it like within the extension. Yes. So yep, we need to find the way to what is the media type. So yeah, we can do it.
Good. Rather than say loves this video or loves this photo, can we say your video or your photo? Would that be better? Because it only goes, I think, to the person that created the message, right?
Yeah, I think that would be better too.
Okay.
And that would the other notifications, like if it's the fire one, it would have to say, so and so thinks this video is fire, this photo is fire.
Can I share my screen? I will show you. Well, we are already framing those words like a smiley things sentence already, but there is confusion regarding content format. I will show you. So activity. Reaction. Oh, see, think this is your fire, and like this message, I think was here.
Okay, yeah. So it should say thinks this video is fire. If it's a reaction to a video, or actually, it should say thinks your video is fire.
Okay, I will do it. But better if you will send me the exact wording, so I call it that I will.
Okay, send copy all those and paste them to me real quick.
Okay.
So some of them aren't going to, unless they're tweaked
okay,
a little.
I will send to you after complete my update.
Okay.
After complete, then I will tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. So then after I also work on Jerry sent me to work on N+150. So I work on like 2. I work on Jerry and 3rd I'm currently working. Okay. Jerry, what is happening now for activity feed? So activity feed for the N+1 to UDF place info. That is calling profile locator. And profile locator is calling actually the SQL query there. So I am adding the profile locator, this N+1 thing there. But the profile locator have like movie, movie, place, all are different data sources we are calling there.
I see. Now, because it is something that is already favorited in the system or checked in, we shouldn't have to use the external profile. We should have it in the database.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So there may be some refactoring to consider there, but let me know if you need any help with it. But yeah,
okay, so I will be doing that in that base, and that profile locator itself I'm adding it as source there.
Okay.
Might be we need to add an N+1 support, data loader for the movie and the other profile. So I will send the query to you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will create the pull request after that. So yeah, that is from my side. Okay. Hello, ready? You're on mute if you're talking.
Yeah. My keyboard command was not unmuting. All right, thank you, Amit.
Thank you.
Ismail, before I want you to get your update, but before you dive in, the queue down badge is being delayed until you force close the app and reopen it. And before you jumped on, we were talking about it. Is it possible that new screen you see after you favorite something, where it recommends a bunch of friends to share that favorite with, is one of those flows that can block a badge?
Let me see where you can recommend something.
So you favorite and it says, would any of these friends
love it? That would block a badge, correct.
Okay, can we make it so that the badge plays right after that screen completes? Once the favorite is actually completed, like skipped or you've shared. I guess it's...
Well, the thing is, it's part of the flow. Kind of blocking that flow. like I'm tracking a certain state, and that flow is part of that state. So I don't know. Maybe we can, but it would be kind of a lot of like a very specific logic, so to speak. Which
what about after that flow is completed? Like you've either shared it and it's navigated you to the chat.
Well, we talked about that with John, and we would have to basically make API call after that, because here's the thing: you need to check if there's anything or not, and a subscription would get blocked when you're in that flow, and after you're done, in order to check, you have to call the backend. So it will be an extra API call though after each favorite, because we don't know which ones will display a badge and which ones won't.
How are we doing it before we added that screen?
Well, the subscription wasn't being blocked, period.
There's got to be a better approach, because there are known.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how we have it at the moment. Now, if we really want to do that, maybe I can save the subscription in a local state and check for that. That way there's no API call getting made, so I will need to have I'll need to have like a structure for that first. Like I need to build a reliable way of doing that without any extra renders, with minimal performance hits, and so I can look into that. I can put that on my backlog. I am currently in the middle of another flow, but
Is there a standard practice for doing that? I don't want to do anything.
Well, it's not about standard practice. Like what we're doing is kind of unique, like these badge pop-ups and stuff. So like you won't find standard practice for this, because it's a very specific scenario. So it's not about standard practice. It's about following like React, basically standard practice in terms of performance and state management and all that. Not for that specific flow. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, under the hood, similar type of practices. Doesn't have to be exactly what we're doing, but just I want to.
Yeah, I think I'll have like a state that will hold one subscription, and that will update based off of the last subscription. So that means that state can have only one item of that subscription, because we don't want to drill the users with 2 or 3 pop-ups in a row. And that subscription, so whatever happens last will show. It could be a badge, something else happens to happen, maybe a level up, that will take priority though. So but I guess we can have some system like that. Should be better than having another API call.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Let's finish the other. We have a lot of really high priorities. I do want to get these badges working properly, but it's just one more thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'll spend on some time on that. Like I said, after I'm done with the current flow I'm working on.
Yeah. And so where are we with the current stuff?
Okay. So custom topics got approved this morning, so it's going to be part of the next build. You guys can test it. Let me know how that goes. Other than that, I was working on what I was assigned on Friday. That is the messaging inside Friend Connect. So I have it there. I built the modal. I made some tweaks. I made the modal where it's either a modal or a drawer. You can trigger that by a boolean. It won't affect how it looks. It'll just affect how it behaves, basically. I also added the chat and the emojis, and I also added the animation. It's almost complete. Final touches needed. As far as the animation goes, I added that emoji animation where it moves and like there's multiple of them and so on. What I did not add was the jumping of the avatar, because I feel like that's not something we maybe need in that flow, in terms of it's not really counting points, where the other one was kind of like counting how many emojis got to the avatar. So for us, we just want to kind of indicate. I think it might look a little silly on our design.
Yeah.
So I did not add that, but I did add, when you click on an emoji, it gets sent to the user. So from wherever location it is. So I think it looks nice. I'll display it once it's complete. And and I got the logic for sending messages all down, the input field and all that, and it's all good to go. Like I said, it just needs final touches on the emoji, or the animation, I should say.
Can you type in the input field and it can wrap to multiple lines and everything, and does the modal expand, or like what happens?
I haven't tested that, to be honest. Yeah, so
go check that one out, because like what if someone 5 lines?
Correct. So I do need to test that.
Okay.
So that being said, I also want to kind of go over maybe the logic of how this works in terms of like this messaging flow. I think it's cool, but maybe we can use it in other places. In terms of or in the same friend connect, but maybe instead of force navigating the user, we just don't do that, period. We always maybe have this if they're already friends. Like let's say if it's a friend connect, right?
Yeah,
and you already know this person.
Yeah, if they're already friends, I like that idea. And that probably keeps it easier for us, because there's no logic behind it. It's just always. It's not sometimes.
I already have the logic down, but I'll just have less conditions, and it would be in terms of like I feel like it's like a nice flow, so it would be kind of a waste to be very, very specific case where it triggers.
Yeah.
So also I think force navigating can maybe be a little confusing for the user. Like, hey, what happened? Why am I here? So this way it maybe. And then they have the skip button, so it can always skip.
Exactly.
So, but if we, so if that's a go, I will limit it to friend connect at the moment. Oh, sorry, not friend connect. Add. You know how there's an add friend and there's a suggested friend.
Yeah.
So we'll limit it to add friend at the moment. Test it out, and if we want to do something similar in friend suggestion after that, we can maybe test that out and see how that would work.
Sure. Yeah, I think that'd be great. But yeah, there was another scenario I ran into where I tapped notification and I was already friends with the person. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I agree. Wherever that happens, we should use this new flow.
Yeah. So I'll just change the condition to be this way: if the person that I just landed on in Friend Connect is following me already, and if I'm following them already. Like they're already a friend. Mm-hmm. We'll show this.
You have to both be following each other. I guess you would be. Well, no.
Only if I'm following them.
You have to both be following each other, because there's this scenario where like your contact can join Sircles, and you could add as friend, but that doesn't mean anything you.
But if you remember, it's always add friend. You're adding somebody. So if you already added them.
I know that term is slightly misleading, because think about the scenario where your contact.
Oh, true. There's accept.
Yes, exactly. They're not following you, but it still says add friend.
But wait,
it does, because I remember we used to have.
No, on both case scenarios, you're still following that person. Like if
you're following them, but they are not necessarily following you.
So if you're following a person, they're not following you, don't we just skip to their profile?
We do the regular friend connect. Well, if you're following them,
and they're not following you,
there's no friend connect when you're following them. It's like when someone follows you.
Correct, and that's where this would get triggered.
but you'd have to be already following them.
Correct. Which can happen either if you click on a notification or alerts.
Yeah, or opening the app because and it's queued because that happens.
Well, it won't be queued because the backend should filter that live.
It did it to a user last week.
It shouldn't.
But let's think about this. Okay, well, no, it was in onboarding. So yeah, it does happen. So just think about it. There's so many different variables. You can invite somebody, and then.
Oh, you know what? Onboarding would be queued. You know why? Because in onboarding, the API gets called before SOT.
Right, and this already happened. That's what triggered this whole task we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened to two users. One invited another, and in onboarding did not finish onboarding before that other user accepted the invite, which makes them automatically follow. So they became, but the first one automatically had the user in their circle of trust. Mm-hmm. When you invite somebody, they go in circle of trust. So they both became friends without exiting onboarding yet. And that's when it started the friend connect, but of course there was nothing there, and just force navigated to the invitee's profile.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we would do it.
Okay. Or through a notification or alerts.
Yes. Yeah. But it really should be the underlying should be based on if they're both following each other.
Yeah. I think I'll just take the logic that used to skip, like as is, and just instead of skipping, we show this. Right?
Yeah, that's okay. The one that you're working on is about your contact. It says your contact joined, and it's like here's their number in your contacts.
Yeah.
So there would have to be. So you would show the other variety of it.
So basically, you know how right now we have, yeah. So you know how right now, if there's nothing, no action done, we skip.
Yeah.
So that same logic, that skip logic, will instead of skipping, we'll just show this modal. If you know what I mean.
Think about when that may occur. So if one of your friends suggests that you know someone else.
Well, no, we're not talking about suggestions at the moment. Remember, we're just talking about the add friend.
But those become skips also.
Yeah, and we will apply to that after this, but we're talking for now because I want you to treat them as two separate flows.
Okay, so you won't be applying it to that.
Not to friend suggestion. No, anything with that second avatar would not be affected.
Okay, gotcha. So the two, I think there's two. Then there's one where it's like your contact joined and it says Ismail in your contacts with the phone. Then there's the other one where it's like accept, right?
Correct.
So wants to be your friend. Now you may have already accepted because of some other notification, or
Correct.
Just because you were there. Yeah, and so maybe tap on the a different notification. It's like the same, but the same kind of brings you into the flow, but you're already friends. That's where you'd apply it.
Correct.
Okay, so it would show. It wouldn't show the accept button. It would show our modal.
Correct.
Okay, you don't have a design for that one.
What do you mean?
Well, the one you have a design for says your friend joined, and it says
no. That text will stay the same at the
but
top.
It says their name in your contacts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not always going to be the case. It won't always be in your contacts.
Well, yeah, but it'll show the other message that we have.
Yeah, that one says somebody wants to be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
But like technically, you guys are already friends now. How's the accept? Let me look at it though. It might be okay. Let me see what that
is. We'll see what it says, and if you want to tweak it, I guess we can tweak it.
Okay. It's been a while since I looked at it. Yeah, here's one. Danny just joined Circles in your contacts. It's different. John Testphone wants to be your friend, except when you follow John back, you become friends. So we wouldn't need that. So we could do a Figma design. Essentially, probably just get rid of this and move this up here. So this is the screen, just so you have a visual of it, Ismail. Okay, I just sent a slide. So this one here, theoretically, you could trigger after the fact, after your friends.
Yeah. So none of everything after wants to be your friend would not show, but even that wants to be your friend is not the case anymore because they are your friend. So I don't know.
I mean, it's not like the worst thing ever, because like just because it says they want to be your friend doesn't mean you're not friends already.
Mm-hmm.
So, and do we want to try and bring the friends with thing? Because it's not really. I guess we don't.
Friends with. Well, where would you put it? The screen's kind of full with the.
True. I was thinking maybe above the modal, but probably it's not even necessary because we're not trying to prompt them to. Well,
we're not trying to convince. I guess that is good for convincing them that hey, I should accept when they see. But in this case, they're already friends, so we don't need to encourage them to accept.
Right. Would it encourage them to send a message or an emoji? Maybe we should change the text. Say like John Testphone. You and John Testphone are now friends. Yeah, that's easy enough, right?
Yeah.
You apply that.
Let me see. Maybe an easier approach would be if that condition is met, we have a text period. Like maybe we have instead of having like you know what I mean. So instead of having like right now we'll have like two flows. Like let's say we'll have that add as friend and the accept. That's two separate.
Yep.
And then now we're gonna have the accept where they're already there as a third, and then the add where they're already there as a fourth. So now we have kind of four things. Maybe instead of having, maybe when we show the modal, we always show the same text. Instead of showing like maybe the contact or something, we just have like some more.
No, I like the where we're going with the first design because it is still your contact and it is still more reassuring to see their name and their phone number as your contact. Like, oh, okay, so this is a true match because there's not always a picture, and especially actually there probably won't be a picture because that's going to be typically a very new user.
Okay. Then yeah, we're just gonna have to make sure we handle all 4 cases.
Yeah, is that easier to handle than if you separate them into 4?
What is I thought we're going with the 4 approach.
Yeah, I mean, it was prior to this conversation, we were repurposing one of them.
Yeah.
Where it's in your contacts, we were just putting a modal on it, but you want to separate it out, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay. I mean, if that probably sounds less complicated that way.
Yeah, I guess we're just like I said, there's going to be 4 conditions that we need to handle. Two that the action has not been done yet, and 2 where the action has been done, and we're going to show a modal.
Yeah, and then can you change the text to what I just sent you here? So instead of John Testphone wants to be your friend, it would say you and John Testphone are now friends.
Yeah. But other than that, nothing else shows, right?
Right, just the modal.
Just the modal. Okay.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think this is a big leap forward. So.
Okay.
Right on. Okay. Any other questions?
No. Just gonna get all that logic done, and also that file's becoming huge, so I might break it down into 2 files. Have like a helper file for it.
Okay. Do you want to do? Yeah, maybe we should do a PR and a build with where you left off on the 3rd version, third variation before you do the fourth variation.
Well, I'm still not done yet. So I think I think it's not like adding that fourth variation won't be too much of a challenge because all the heavy stuff it's already there.
Yeah, that's
okay. So it's just exchanges at that point. So
gotcha.
And conditions.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And then I know there's some other lingering important things. Like I know there's like a white screen when you type in the search bar under entertainment, some like random stuff like that. I suppose you probably haven't got a chance to get into that.
Yeah, if we can have maybe tickets or something of that nature to keep, because like I also have like a bunch of other small tasks. For example, the asynchronous upload, the toast for the 3 API fails, the OTA, the kill switch fix, so all those are just they're small tasks, but we probably need to keep track of everything, so because things will get or I will forget
for
some things if there's like 5 different, and they have the app rating also. So
okay, so yeah, Chantel, have you been making those Trello tickets? For instance, the one with the white screen when you type in the search bar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have that one in. Let me see where I am with everything. But I have been entering stuff into Trello.
Yeah, I think that one in particular, I was saying that's like a top priority. Anything that white screens.
Yeah.
Top priority. She's going to try and sort these in priority. Like, not
I mean, right now I'm just keeping a list on my notes, but if I can have a board with the exact description, that would help me. Keep things better organized.
For sure. Okay. Then Chantel will go over that, and maybe we can start assigning a couple of these.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So anything else, Ismail?
No, that's pretty much my update.
Right on. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, Amin, how have you been? Feeling better?
Yeah, I'm good now. It's good. Yeah, the 2 days still bad, but now I'm good.
That's good. So, yeah, where did you leave off?
Yeah, I was just about to start working on the Lathi, having the PR to be up to date with the latest, but I couldn't finish that. Today's morning, I reviewed all the PRs, like the pending PRs that were there, like Ismail, Jerry PRs as well. So there was like just one comment I left for Jerry, and right now I'm finishing on resolving all the merge conflicts that they are in the Lathi PR. So yeah, I'm on it.
Okay, so you were saying the first thing you said about working on the Lotties, like updating the library?
No, the PR that I already worked on it. It needs to be up to date with the latest development. So because there was no changes pushed to it, it has old code, old stuff. And we need to merge development in it, so it has the latest and everything. And because it was so outdated, there's a lot of merge conflicts. That's what I'm taking care of, making sure all the merge conflicts are resolved. Also making sure the new lattes that are added, there's 4 of them, they're also now converted to a latte, and we're not using any old latte that we updated while that PR was in state.
Okay. You're going to send me a list of all the current active lattes that we're using too?
Yeah, I can do that, yeah.
And then a playground for us to work in, like a sandbox.
Yep, that's on my mindset.
Okay. What else was there? Where did you leave off? What was your last PR?
They are approved now and merged. Let me see them. I remember 2. Oh yeah, the one it's the sharing links, like if you're in Instagram and you want to share like a video reel or something like that, and Instagram does it as a link, circles will pop up there as well.
Okay.
And yeah, when you select circles, it's gonna be the compose message with the link pasted in the chat. And what's the other PR? And I did test it on my device, and it does work. Like it shares from Instagram to circles. And the other one, it was like a PR regarding re-rendering issues in the favorite maps and making sure like making sure everything in sync, like the category selected with the pins you see in with the color that it's there, so like making everything it's there in sync.
That's a
So yeah,
so that's pretty much
it's
all
merged.
sorted out. Yeah.
Yeah, like in the next build we can see it live and test it.
And when you rotate the wheel to entertainment, it switches over to like an entertainment view.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great. All right. Yeah, looking forward to seeing that. Okay. I had sent you a message too. Oh yeah. Did you get that? We need to turn off the timer thing because there's just too many situations where that first favorite flow can be triggered by if the app's not really idle. The user, there's a lot of flows where the user is doing things, and so it's like instead of trying to hunt down all those flows, let's just abandon it. The idea is a good idea, but it's not really working in practice. Can you pull that out? But I still want to keep it where we would run the flow after coming home on the third time.
Okay, so like we're no longer gonna check whether the user is inactive or not and trigger the flow.
Right.
So it's gonna be the three buttons on like after the third press on the home button.
Yep.
Okay, all of that.
Okay, cool. Was there something else too? No, that was the main thing. So that's pretty easy to do, right? Could you do that before you do anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can do that.
Okay. Oh, if we can get that done, and maybe even the white screen issue that Chantel has in Trello, I want to knock out maybe some of these smaller defects that they're small but they look bad, and then I think we're in a good spot to do another production build without not necessarily getting all the Frank Connect stuff or custom topics. Is it too late, Ismail, did you already merge everything around the custom topics? Or could we do a production build without it potentially?
I actually just merged it this morning, but it shouldn't be too bad. I don't think there's necessarily like worst case scenario we can disable it. We don't have to remove the code. So
yeah, it's not like people are using it. It's not there yet anyway. So okay, because I'd like to when Ismail pulls out this one thing and then do a couple other defect fixes. There are still we'd be way ahead of where we were. I think we're in build 90, right, in the App Store.
No, 2.2.
Oh, we are 2.0, right?
2.2.0, yeah.
Yeah, but Google Play is still haunting us with these new builds, so we got to get to the bottom of that sucker too.
Yeah, is that one up to date with iOS?
It is in the App Store, but the next build's going to be problematic unless we figure this out. And yeah, we'll have to go over that together, Ismail. I want to dive into it and solve it once and for all.
Yeah, we'll make time for that.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, let's see how things play out here today. But there are some improvements we can do. I think there was another issue with Oh yeah. There's a big issue. It's small, but it's big, where notifications aren't being sent. Did Wells PR get approved to fix that? We put some analytics on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was approved.
that's approved, right? Okay, so we need a bill for that too. And I think there was a couple other things that are kind of important. So just keep in touch today on the progress of that, and I mean, just let Ismail know when you have that smaller PR done.
Mhm.
Okay, and then Ismail, what is your plan for doing a QA build?
Well, after I have this emoji stuff done or the animation, I can needs to be reviewed obviously, and then I need to demo it. If all looks good, we can also have a QA build with pretty much everything we have so far. And if it's all stable, we can go ahead and push it. If not, we can do a few more tweaks and push it.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. And I mean, did you have anything else to add? Any questions?
No, just like for Jerry. I left one. Yeah, Jerry replied to me. Maybe we can discuss this now. It's like I know like you had that like one function in one place, but like if you look into your PR, like where you call that function, it's like in I know like we have different URLs, and I was thinking maybe if there is like a possible way to also I forgot what's the word for it, but like to have that like in one function, because like you see that fetch URL and show with you where you call the URL and have a state for loading state back and all that, like to have it in another function, just like to make things clear to maintain and easy to maintain. Because I know like we have different places for with URLs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to understand what. I know you're saying okay, a state to load the URL.
There is like we have a hook helper in our code base that maybe you can use to make this easier for you. Let me just use loading. No, I use loading on it. Use action. Something like that. We have it. I just need to remember the name. I do use it in generating invite links. It's like a helper hook. It's gonna make things easier to write. Let me just find it. Um, oh yeah, it's called use async action with status. So this hook, it's a helper hook that you give it a function, and it will give you back the function to call and the status, the loading status. So utilizing this hook, you may like create a function that you can reuse wherever you wanna that specific URL, and with that you will be having loading status with whatever the return you want. And if you do a search of that use async action with status, you will see some examples, and you will get the idea. Overall, your PR is good. This is the only change. It's not like a critical change or anything. Just like for maintaining a good code to review later if you want or update.
Jerry, you're on mute.
Yeah, I am. So that combines the loading state and the action, it seems, into just a single hook. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like an utility too. make things easier to write and follow.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I can make that modification.
Okay, thanks.
Did you get the chance to look at my background fetch?
Yeah, I did it. It's all good. It's approved, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. I'll good if I merge it, Ismail.
Yeah, it should be good to go. Just make sure. I did merge a few things in development, so if you want to just sync them real quick.
And there are no conflicts.
All right, good to go.
So, okay, that's merged. What are the chances of us? Are we having a build soon or something, just so we can test this? There are.
Yeah, I will say later today, maybe early tomorrow, depending on how much we get done.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll just move on with my update. Were anything else for Amin, John?
No, go for it.
Okay. Cool. So I'll be changing one PR for the tokenization for the web views. Looks like the PR is now merged for the background fetch. And also, I did see one error on the biz portal over the weekend. Sentry caught it, and it was a case that maybe somebody tried to claim a business that was already pending, and it went to a error page instead of a business already claimed. Sentry caught the code, and I was able to fix it within like 30 minutes of it coming up. So, cool deal there. I'm able to be kind of not necessarily proactive, but very reactive to it. Now, Todd, did you get the chance to check the modifications I made to the biz portal on the management side, like managing categories, and I think it was the business hours we were working on Friday?
I don't think Todd is on the call right now. He's traveling right now.
Oh, do y'all know if Todd got the chance to look at it?
I don't, but I can check with him.
Okay. Yeah, so I see a couple of cards in me for Trello about claim business management. It looks like he doesn't want the X or something. Okay, Trello cards are looking good. It's been about the email configuration. Looks like Ian added a task. I need to reach out to Ian about the email configuration so we can add all those transactional emails. Like when somebody, well, we already have one whenever they pay, but we're going to have some more when they approve. And I think also another thing that I'm remembering now, we want a push notification. I don't think we really want to email, but if they're in the app, we want to send them a push notification as well that their page is approved. So I'm going to be working mostly on notifications today, really ironing out that process. And also the DNS, making sure we have everything right for the transactional emails for the biz portal. Other than that, that is all I have, unless anybody else has anything else.
Right, probably some oddness. I'm sure we'll discuss.
Yeah, the usual, but all good. Reach out to me if you need.
Absolutely. Yep. Okay, thank you. Wells, let's get your update.
Actually, I have one thing just a question really. When do you want to revisit the widget?
Soon, but I want to get all this stuff stabilized. It's really important that we get our new user experience buttoned up.
Agreed.
It's tricky because you get so many variables, different ways you can get a new user or trigger a returning user.
Cool.
So
I don't want to rush it. I just was thinking over the weekend it'd be cool to have.
it would be. It's a big feature, even though it's probably the first draft will probably be done in a few days. It'll probably take weeks. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. So yeah, Wells, you got my message about the buttons getting wonky.
Yes, sir. I got.
Yeah, well,
And
is it doing it on
yeah,
your
I know exactly where to go on that one.
Okay.
I guess Ismail didn't see that like option scenario when shortening the length of the buttons and applying the new styles. So basically, it's a matter of going there and once you have just one person changing the styles back to the bigger button. I will do that since I'm working on the other stuff for the Sun separately. So I'll go with
that's
that.
right. I forgot that Ismail worked on the font on those buttons. So did you talk to him about this, or you just kind of noticed it and changed it?
No, yeah. The moment you sent me, so yeah, I saw the PR. I saw the PR was also creating the new styles and applying it, so it was really good. And when you sent me, no needed to communicate with him. I knew exactly where to go and how to fix because I'm working on the screen at the moment. Yeah, so cool stuff.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you have questions for him, let him know. But if you're
yes, sir. I do have another question for him and perhaps Amin as well regarding this one separately. But before that, remember that Android specific issue we were having on the chat where the sender name would be gray, so blending with the background. I figured that out, and the PR for that's going to be open really soon. Indeed, it wasn't Android specific stuff, it was a condition that was there specifically for Android. I think I forgot to migrate that once doing the background blur on and other stuff. Because as I mentioned, the screen is really complex and there are a lot of different stuff and behaviors and little thingies. So this was one of those little thingies, and found it. And now it's gonna be white on both Android and iOS. And if I'm not mistaken, you also wanted to enlarge that font in there a little bit.
No, font should stay the same, just the color.
Okay, so yeah, if that's it, then all good. I'll be opening a PR for that soon. And regardless and separately, I would want some help from Amin and Ismail.
Let's look at that now. Stand by for 1 second. We can probably let Amit go here. Does anybody have any questions?
Based on mine's good.
Okay.
And any sent you all those things, so please send it to me.
Will do.
I don't have
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, Amit. Good night. Okay, so yeah, Will, do you want to share your screen maybe for your question?
Yes, sir. That will be awesome.
Okay, great. Let's do it.
Let me share my screen. All right, so can you guys see my screen? Yes, sir.
Yeah, there it is.
Awesome. So currently I'm working on this feature here regarding the send separately screen. So when you go favorite something, you have this option of sharing with either a group of people or sending message separately to them. And now what we are adding is this opportunity here of removing them from this recommendation list. So that's all good. And also there's the possibility here of adding another friend to this list of suggestions here. And this so far is being the main issue, the main problem I couldn't make work yet. So in here, what's supposed to do is we're supposed to have kind of like a search for friends and this list of possible contacts, followers, and that kind of thing. So I couldn't get this listing working, Ismail, because apparently everything that uses this, like all the sources I found that uses logic similar to this, they seem to rely on some hooks that require having route access. So anytime I try using different methods of getting to this here working, it says, hey, you're not on a screen currently. Perhaps you should try making this component a screen so you have access to the routing stuff and everything work. And I was trying different ways of getting that. I'm not sure exactly why that was happening, but let's go into that. So yeah, by the way, this is regarding the sender name, John. So if we go here, for example, now on both Android and iOS, it's gonna be white.
Okay, good.
Yeah, got a perfect code. But yeah, if we go, let me just see on what stage that is.
Was that our font style? Let's make sure it's not. Sometimes it doesn't use our font for some reason. Like it doesn't pick it up. And the way to know that is our font has rounded corners.
You mean for the Android thingy? Like this?
Yeah, let me see that.
It's not that rounded?
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, it's okay. Just looked a little different.
Okay.
But yeah, it looks alright.
Yeah, so the way it is currently, it is going to break. So we're going to see exactly that. So let me...
Okay. Do you have a specific question for Ismail or Amin here?
Yeah, sure. It's going to be this. So if I go here,
did that re-render again of the heart.
there we go. So doesn't find a object, easier component inside a screen navigation. So this, sir, is thanks to the list context and suggestion component that I'm using here. That is the same that we have in the let me get back there. The edit SOT screen.
Well, the route object will only be available to screens, not to components.
Yeah, so that seems to be the problem. Apparently, what's using routing here is the getCurrentUser.
What is it?
The use route here, but even without this, so I was thinking.
Wait, go back. No. Wait, can you go back to the hook?
This one? The use get. This.
Use getCurrentUser. What screen is this? No, that should be fine.
No, so the issue is because the favorite flow, the component is not called inside React navigation container. It's like above everything. That's why the use routes and all the other functions that or hooks, they're not like gonna be working inside there, and not only React navigation hooks. And in this case, you just need, I guess, access to the user key. What you can do is move that use, so wherever the list contacts and suggestion is being used, you're gonna call that use getCurrentUser and pass the user key as a param. So this component will no longer dependent on a React navigation hook.
Yeah.
Or he can probably use getPersistentUser.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah, just not too.
Yeah.
But this is like, so the thing is, like, this function, the hook use getCurrentUser, it returns you your user key, and maybe if you're looking into someone else profile, his user key. But I guess in this case, you're always gonna want your user key, right?
Yeah.
Then you can use use get persisted user, and you'll get your user key instead.
Yeah. And also, I thought that also, and I removed this hook, and I figured if I got another way of getting the user key, perhaps that might just solve the problem. But actually, even if I do not call this hook, I still get a similar error to that one, not exactly the same one, and I couldn't pinpoint the source of this next error we're gonna get now. So It is the same, but I couldn't get exactly
Because
where
you're yeah, I tell you what. Yeah, it's in the call stack. Like you're calling that SLTRO item inside your new screen. You just create it, and that must be that SLT. Or is it like line 39? It uses it as well.
Yeah, indeed. When I looked into SO0 item, I didn't see the user key here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there's also a thing that this list contact and suggestion. It is not really um, um, a high level component that is kind of like designed to be used outside. It is designed to intrinsically be used within SLT. So
Yeah.
a lot of stuff here is just like that. I was thinking perhaps we could use the SOT ref in a personalized way. So using the same interface, but handling different might be an option on using this component, or perhaps uh, making it so the stuff we have here is more componentized. So I don't know, trying to create a similar one to this.
Well, is your screen requires all of those type of or type of items? Like
That is something I was wondering as well, and I don't know, perhaps it might be a good.
No, it's
question.
not because from the designs, it's just like a name and a checkbox. The other one, it handles different items or type. Maybe sometimes we want to show the add contacts button or sync button on all of that. So maybe not to use that, but just like get an inspiration of it of how to make up your list in the screen.
Mm-hmm. So you think it's a valuable idea to just call the mutation to get the information and kind of create a new component and then a listing for this?
Yeah, like I think we're using that list and contacts component. It's gonna be an overkill for this one because this one is simple, straightforward. So yeah, you just get the idea, get the query you want to use and over it, and have it in your own component here.
That's cool. And do you think I could use that mutation here inside running into the error of this not being inside of a React navigation?
Yeah, you can.
Cool. So you have that like fresh in mind for review the reference here. Let's see how that's done in the list. So this mutation perhaps get context and following.
Yeah, this is the mutation for within the yeah.
Okay, so for that I need, I think, the user key. Yes, I do. So how would you suggest getting the user key into that screen inside the favorite?
Yeah, as Ismail suggested, you can use persisted user hook.
User, I like it. Oh, maybe. Where is it? Okay, so like this.
Yeah.
Cool. I see being called here in other places having kind of like this.
Well, yeah, because that hook returns you other stuff. If you look inside of the hook, the implementation, you'll see what it returns, so you would know what's you see the return statement.
Oh, I see. It has user refresh, blank, and that kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So we only need the user. So This seems good. Awesome. So if this provides the user key and that query provides the data, I can recreate that UI. That's awesome. Really valuable input. Thank you guys.
No worries.
Okay. So you know where to go now, Wells?
Yes, sir.
All right. Very good. Any questions? Anything else you wanted to add?
No. So far so good. Say that was the only blocker so far.
Okay.
I will open the PR for the name thingy before proceeding though. So that's gonna be ready to be reviewed and merged. So we have that. So we have chat better on Android.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Well, then let's leave it there. Jerry Todd is here, though. You had a question for him?
Oh, I just wanted to ask if you had the chance this weekend to test out the new management portal.
I actually didn't check it out this weekend. I'm sorry, but I did look at it this morning. I didn't realize it was completed. Maybe you told me. I forgot. I apologize.
Yeah, changes that we did this weekend. I mean, not this
What's
weekend.
that?
The changes we went over Friday.
Yeah, I gotcha. I just didn't know when they were completed. But just this morning, it looks really good. I think the only real, as far as the categories and how that's working and how it matches up, it all looks really, really good, and it makes sense. One minor thing I think is I'm realizing as I'm managing multiple businesses. So the changes you make, feedback for those, it looks good. The categories works great. I love it actually. So that all makes sense to me. But as I'm in the app, as I'm managing multiple businesses in here that assigned to my account, I'm realizing sometimes I forget which business I'm on. Like when I'm into manage categories for existing, I think, oh wait, am I on Tech to You How, or am I on Tech to You Las Vegas? Sometimes I forget, and I have to back all the way out to see which one I'm on, and then go back in again. For example, on the
sorry to interrupt you. Let's let Ismail and Amin drop off because they
yeah
need to be around on this one. And,
Yeah.
I'll let you guys focus on Wales as well. You guys have lots going on. So, unless you have any questions, anybody have any questions?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, great. Well then, just keep me posted on how things are going, and we'll catch up later.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys. Take care, guys.
All right. Sorry, Todd. Go ahead.
That's okay, no worries. So in short, like on the desktop, or on my laptop, and I'm managing a business, on the left column of my screen, it shows me at all times which business I'm working on, and on the right side of the screen, it shows me the actual details of what I'm working on, whether it's trust tips or categories, hours, whatever. But in the app, I can't it'd be nice if there was like something that stayed at the top of the screen, or something that would say you're on Tech to You How Avenue, or an address or something to that effect, so I know which business I'm working on, if that makes sense.
I send a screenshot with like a little note,
Yeah, I can do that.
That way.
Yeah, no, I'm just providing the feedback. But I could definitely send it in, no problem.
Okay.
Is this something we would like Chantel to make a design update for, or
Unless it's really straightforward, is this something simple, Todd? It sounded like it was simple.
It just yes, it is something simple. I don't think it's a design thing so much as it is like at the I'll show you. I'll send you a screenshot. At the top of the screen at all times it says manage business, but I don't know which business I'm managing. So if it had manage category, it said manage and had the name of the business right underneath, it would be super helpful.
Yeah, so maybe just like location, colon,
yes.
And then street address.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
I'll put something together.
Okay.
But otherwise, man, it's awesome. Really appreciate it. It's great.
That's great. Go ahead. Test it again. Make sure everything is as intuitive on all the pages. Make through the onboarding again. If there's any more locations you have to claim.
Yep.
After that, go ahead and check out the web version on the desk. and let me know what you see. I'm going to be really fresh in that code base while I'm adding the notifications, and also if we can knock out the notifications and those enhancements on the web version, let's do it now.
Yeah, you got it.
Awesome. Thank you.
No worries, man. Thank you.
And there's still we got to test around like the photo management, the
But
ballot.
yeah, I'm still playing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what needs to be changed on it just yet. It has been working. There were duplicates, like you mentioned, John. Not sure where those came from.
That's just,
but they were
I guess,
removed.
I wouldn't worry about that as long as they're not still happening.
Right. No, it doesn't look like it. But I'll keep testing it.
Okay. And just the interface itself, like, is it intuitive to you, or does it require too much thought process to make a decision? And you want it to be as easy as possible, obviously.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so far it looks great. I'm gonna now that it's adjusted, I want to go claim a couple more of our businesses and go through that process and see how those look too.
Okay, great. Yeah, and do it real world, credit card, the whole thing.
Yep, you got it.
Cool. And I guess Ian's not here, but we're probably ready to start testing our Square integration here pretty soon too.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's another business Tori mentioned that has Square that we've already talked to. So she just said she's going to another collab. We have so many businesses. She has a collab every day this week.
Freaking awesome! Wow.
Yeah. And a lot of them are really good marquee businesses, So yeah, we'll have no shortage of partners in this to test and perfect this whole integration thing. So, you plan on heading today?
I'm not. I'm actually leaving town, but we'll be back tomorrow night. But I'll be in touch throughout the day and tomorrow.
Okay. Alrighty then. Yeah, let's catch up with Ian, see where he's at with all that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. All right. Anything else here to add?
For my end, test. Let me know what y'all find, but I got stuff to roll with for the notifications in the meantime.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, just a quick note. This weekend I was playing around with notifications and was actually talking to Danny a little bit about it this weekend, and I was having some issues. I won't go into detail now, but it's possible it may have been just my phone, maybe some weird caching issues. I'd click notifications, it wouldn't take me to the right spot. It was really strange. I recorded some of it.
When you rebooted, did it work?
Yeah, everything. Since I rebooted my phone, everything seems to be functioning just fine so far.
Yeah, I have some of those issues sometimes. It's been a little bit since I have.
It was really weird. Like, he was clicking on the notification in the shade, and it just wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was one particular notification too. It wasn't like I have a bunch of notifications that were on the screen, and this one particular one, I would tap on it sometimes and does absolutely nothing. Sometimes I tap it, it takes me to the right spot. Sometimes I tap it, it takes me to a different spot. But no matter how many times I tap it, it would never disappear from my shade. But I can click on another notification, it takes me to the right place, and that one disappeared from my shade.
That's really
But
weird.
that one persisted. It was so weird, but it's not happening now. I'm trying to see if I can reproduce it in some way. Right now, everything's functioning as I would expect it to.
Okay, yeah, keep testing.
Yeah, well.
Alrighty. Great. Well, what should we work on next? Don't like to get too far ahead. I mean, I want to continue looking at our session replays, getting some insights, but I feel like we need to build to catch up. So it's not really worth it to test too much of that until we get the next build, because there's going to be a lot of changes already baked in. So,
are you going in, John? Because if you are, I'm going to start getting ready soon.
I can, yeah. Did you want to meet up over there?
There's it just kind of depends on what your agenda is. There's a lot of little things you and I should probably make some serious progress on, like real quick. And but they can wait till tomorrow or till Todd's back. I just don't want to fall behind 8 ball on the
Yeah, no, let's head over there. We can meet up with Ian too. We got stuff to collaborate with him on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll see you over there, and then Chantel, do you have some things that are here on your desk?
If you don't, I can put them
Yes. Yeah, I've got some stuff I've got to work on. I've got to check into this order with Ian, and then I've got to put in some stuff in Trello that I saw. So I'll be doing that kind of stuff.
Okay, Tony Latham at Tech to You, Emily's husband. He was adding an unlisted business. Will you check in with him, make sure that worked okay, and maybe approve it? Just make sure the whole process. And if you don't like anything about that process, make some notes, and we'll improve it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, let me know how that goes too. I'm curious how he did, because he was asking in the Tech to You chat how to do it. Like there's another link that's not. It's kind of a dead link that is an obscure one to get to, but he thought it wasn't working, so I directed him to the normal way. So I want to see if he did it.
Yeah, I did see that he did it.
Okay, good. Ask him about that, how it worked for him. Maybe do a couple tests, and then and then see how it works on your end and all that. And you should have got an email and everything else,
I did not get an email about the unlisted business. I am getting emails now about new business signups, though.
Okay, maybe look into that with Jerry.
Okay. Yeah.
Where that's at. Okay. All right,
Okay.
man.
And then I just added you to Google Doc. Aiden finished the first few videos of our TikToks.
Cool.
Will you get him the most current iOS app icon, because he shows the icon on the screen. It's an old one. I think we got to use the current one. It'll confuse users to download. So, and then any feedback you have on those videos could be helpful. I send it to you too, Todd. John, I'll show you where he's at. And, the media kit was sent over by the podcast agency. Will you review it?
Yeah, I saw they sent stuff over, so I was gonna look through that.
Okay. I think we should be really careful not to distract from Sircles. I know Fire Up and Tech to You are mentioned in there, but when we go on air, I mean, it's okay to say, John's founded these other companies, but I think we need to keep it really focused.
Sounds good.
Okay, sounds good. All right, I'll meet you over at the office, Danny.
Okay.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Take it easy.
All right, catch up with you later. See ya.